All you have to do is just breathe. Everybody come on in. It is Wellness Wednesday. I am your host, Tracy Berry McGee, also known as Divine T.
Hey, Divine T. I am Yolanda Langford, and they still call me Lady Yo.
Lady Yo, it is Wellness Wednesday.
It
How you
is, it
doing?
is. I am great. The funniest thing, I think it's been like over a week that I was the Grand Marshal for St. Louis, Jazz St. Louis's 30th anniversary. And I have been out in our community, and people are like, girl, I saw you dancing down the street in those heels, So I'm
Yes, you
still
did.
basking in the glow of being the Grand Marshal.
As you should, as you should. And everybody can't walk in parades and heels. I remember when I would be in the May Day parade and I was a Girl Scout and all those things, walking and riding our bikes and everything. Or if I was in the drill team in high school, but never, ever, ever in heels. Only
It was
Lady
fun.
O, only Lady O.
It was fun. And they had the big brass band. I think they're called the Funky Butt Band.
Oh,
They were
wow.
playing. They were playing behind me. So, to say the least, as you can tell, I'm still having fun with it and enjoying all that it is and was.
As you should, as you
And
should. It's
and
always
how
an
are you, my
honor.
dear?
I'm doing fine. After our huge event that was such a great success, I literally felt like I needed to check my immune system. And, anytime we do an event or anytime that I do an event, I have to check out. So me and Hubby Bear went to Savannah to the Jazz Festival. Oh my God, y'all. It was so good. It was so good. We saw Spiral Gyra and Kirk Whalum, and these people have been performing over 50 years. So when you say it's never too late to be who it is that you are supposed to be, it's never too late. You really have to walk in it, y'all. Just walk right on into your purpose, because at the end of the day, whatever it is that God has for you, it is for you. I must say
You
that.
you are absolutely right. And did a little birdie say it was Hubby Bear's birthday?
Oh, yes, his birthday is tomorrow. Everybody shout out to Hubby Bear. His birthday is tomorrow. He'll be the big 59. And so
Woo-hoo.
just gets better with time. Speaking of
Yes.
59, guess just gets better with time and wine. What's in your cup, Lady O? What are you sipping on?
Well, I have my H2O, our St. Louis best water. But let me tell you what else I have. I dug up my granny's recipe for an old-fashioned hot toddy.
Uh-oh, uh-oh. Old-fashioned hot toddy. The thing about it is in Savannah, a lot of people drink bourbon and um to make sure that you take care of your throat and everything. That's important. I'm
The-
sipping on some green tea because let me tell y'all something. The weather is shifting here in St. Louis. I know everybody's watching all over, but it's shifting. And I woke up this morning and the sun wasn't quite out and it was kind of muggy. And you just never know what you're going to get. So you better take care of yourself. I guess a what do you call it? A hot toddy? I was going to say green toddy. A
It's
hot
a
toddy.
my grandma's hot toddy.
Not grandma's hot toddy.
Grandma's hot toddy. The difference between hers and the average person, she always sprinkled some cayenne pepper in hers.
I heard that works. Cayenne pepper, any of that ginger, elderberry, all of that. Well, Robert says that he's sipping on Minute Maid berry punch. Anything with the word berry in it, I'm good. I'm good with it. What else is everybody sipping on? What are you all sipping on, and how are you guys doing? If you all don't know that Robert is on the Facebook side, on the YouTube side today. He is our YouTube correspondent, so he's always going to be on the YouTube side. And it seems like lately, a lot of people are on the YouTube side. So I'm not sure what's going on the Facebook side. But even next week, when we air our PBS show, we'll probably air it on the YouTube side. So we're going to start trying to see. Just follow us, subscribe in case y'all are on the Facebook side live. Because I checked it and shared. Did you share, Lady O?
I shared. So if you are watching, you can share it to other people so that they can join us, because we have some fantastic guests tonight. They are going to talk about all things dementia, Alzheimer's, and then we have the Montrese Arthur
right,
in
y'all.
the house.
Yes, we do. We have imagery, and you're going to find out a little bit more about all the things that she has going on. So that's going to be exciting. Nancy says she's drinking some sparkling watermelon. Have you ever had sparkling watermelon?
No, she'll have to bring me some.
Okay, okay. My tree's got that Gold Peak tea. Now I've heard of the tea, and some people drink tea sweetened and unsweetened. What about you, yo?
I'm a sweetened girl. I think I got spoiled when I went to college in Louisiana. You know, can I have some of that sweet tea?
Some of that sweet tea. Why is it that every time you get sweet tea, it don't ever have enough ice in it? What is that about? I'm like, I need more ice. Okay.
Well, you know what? I think probably people are afraid it's going to water down the taste.
Oh, that might be it. Okay, okay. Well, my best friend likes those Arnold Palmers where it has like little sweet tea. It's like sweet tea and lemonade, kind of like White Castle's mix, orange soda, and you don't know about that, do you?
No.
Orange soda. You don't know nothing about that?
No.
Girl, you've been in St. Louis 50 years and you don't know nothing about.
And I will tell you, I've only been to White Castles once, and that was because I had guests and they wanted to go. I'd never been to White Castles since.
Well,
but no shade on White Castle, though. No shade.
Back in the day, they were really good, but the mix is what you get, and everybody knows that you get a mix when you go to and you just have to say mix. Watch, we're gonna ask Dr. Griffin about it, and we're gonna ask Dottie, we're gonna ask, I bet they know. Joan says she's drinking a cup of milk. So anybody, whatever y'all drinking, what y'all sipping on, let us know. We're gonna keep it moving because yes, we got some birthday shout outs. This is officially Libra season. So yes. Shout out to my husband there, Nate McGee. And what about you, Lady? Who you shouting out?
Wait, hold on. We got to give Nate his own thing. Happy birthday, Nate McGee.
Yeah.
I was going to say senior. Is he senior?
He is senior. We have a junior.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Nate McGee, senior, better known as Hubby Bear.
Hubby Bear, that's right.
Yes.
He'll say big time. Everywhere we went, he had on his 49ers gear, you know, because he go way back. So shout out to him. Who else do we shout out today?
We are shouting out my best girlfriend, Jackie Baker Green. She is celebrating a good one and a big one, the big 6-0 today. Woo! And also, shout out to Jackie. Honey, if you see her, you would never guess that she's 6-0. And that's why I feel easy saying her age out loud. We also have a happy birthday to another BFF of mine, Christine Taylor. Happy birthday, Christy. We love you. And Cedric Cobb, you know, he's an owner. Cedric Cobb is having a birthday. And Melissa Douglas. Happy birthday to everyone.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Well, Robert says that it is Lisa Ray's birthday today. Jermaine Dupree, of course, we all know who Jermaine Dupree is, and Lisa Ray. We always talk about her every time her birthday come up. And then Ray Charles and John Coltrane. Woo, baby. Yes. So this week, there's a lot of celebrities' birthdays that are, I think Will Smith's birthday is tomorrow as well. But at any rate, shout out to everybody that has a birthday. You all better celebrate because, hey, it's a blessing. Look, I'm going back to the milk. I don't even drink milk. Y'all know I don't even drink milk in my coffee. I don't drink any of that kind of stuff. But birthday shout outs are important. So you know that's what we do. And if you all have any birthday shout outs, please shout them out. And we will make sure that we celebrate them because that's what we do here on the Own Your Now show. Well, Lady O, speaking of celebrating life and longevity and what it looks like to make sure that we take care of our family. Yes. We got a lot of different events coming up, but we want to talk about the Mama Joe Project. So who do we have coming on right now?
Right now, we have Dr. Herb Caldwell, Dottie McDowell, and Dr. Ronald Griffin to talk about the Mama Joe Project.
Yes. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's so good to see you all. Thank you for saying yes to the On Your Now show. Look, we're all about wellness, opportunity, knowledge, and empowerment. And today we're talking about wellness, but we got to start off with asking what's in your cup. So we're going to start off with the ladies in the house.
Hi, thanks so much for having me tonight. And what's in my cup is lemonade.
Pink lemonade.
I
Pink
like that.
lemonade. Of
Quencher.
course, it's pink. Look, she's with the Lynx Club, but she's also an AKA, aren't she?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
it
That's
is. Yes,
true.
she is. She got her. So she go have her pink lemonade and everything. I love that. When you're
Yes.
part of the Divine Nine, we all recognize each other, and that's beautiful. All right, let's see, Doc. What you sipping on?
Listen, we're keeping it simple and plain here today. So just some spring water in the old mug here, keep me
Okay.
hydrated.
All right. All right. Doc, what you sipping on?
Same. That high quality H2O.
High quality.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we are going to jump right into this. Dr. Caldwell, tell us about the Mama Joe Project.
So the Mama, first of all, thank you for having us in, and congratulations to both of you for the longevity of this great show. The Mama Joe Project, it's an initiative that infuses and integrates film with evidence-based guidance around caregiving support, promoting brain health, and then support for particularly elders who may have Alzheimer's or related dementia. And it stems from my own family experience. We have a documentary film that kind of tells the journey of my mother. It's called My Mama Joe, Hope and Help. And we've been using it as part of community outreach. And we just want other families to be better connected to information and resources. Certainly about caregiving and Alzheimer's and dementia, but we just need to do better about our health in general.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Dottie, talk to us about how the Lynx got to be a part of this.
Okay, great. So as you shared tonight, I'm here representing the Links Incorporated, an organization of professional women committed to service and strengthening our communities. Locally, our chapter focuses on health equity and supporting Black families, especially around issues like Alzheimer's disease. So I learned about the Mama Joe Project. Now it's been a little bit over a year ago. And during my day job, I work for the Knight Alzheimer's Disease Research Center at WashU. And although it's my job, I feel like working there is truly my passion because Alzheimer's disease is very near and dear to my heart because my grandmother lived with it for quite some time. And increasingly, I'm finding out someone new or someone that's close to me has been affected by the disease. So when I saw the documentary, I just felt compelled to help. And it's like, I felt like, how can you not help promote this? And there are so many families that are in need of help right now and just don't know where to turn. And oftentimes people that look like us, Black families and Black people who are affected by Alzheimer's or dementia are less likely to have access to care and resources. And by the time we find out about it, the disease has progressed. So just trying to get the word out there wide to any and everybody that we can touch.
You know,
Thank
I
you.
know that statistics wise, it affects the African American community twice as much. And I know that People's Health Clinic is part of the community. And you also, I shout out to y'all building the new one out here in Florida. I'm so excited about that. But why, with community efforts and forums, did you say yes, Dr. Griffin, to being a part of the project?
Yeah. So thank you so much. So just a clarification, Betty Jean Kerr People's Health Centers. We're a health center, not
That's
just
right.
a clinic. I just want to throw that out there. But
The
thank you.
whole process. We covering the whole body.
That's right. So what's really interesting is that everybody that knows Betty Jean Kerr, you know that we're collaborative partners in the community. And so it's important for us to share insights to care and those things that affect us mostly as a community. So when I heard about the Mama Joe project and I met Dr. Caldwell, it was just instantly, we just met eye to eye and we need to do something and take this to the larger stage. Salute to him. They're getting ready to go into their 1-year anniversary. And just know that Betty Jean Kerr People's Health Center is going to always be there to support the community in any way that we can.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Caldwell, let's get into the meat of this. I watched the documentary, and I have to say myself, I'm caring for my father who has been diagnosed with onset dementia. So I saw in the documentary how your family, some people had anxiety about it, and there were some different things that went on regarding guilt and things of that sort. Talk to us about the family aspect and how it can have an effect on the family as a whole.
Yeah, so that's a great point. And when you have a large family like ours, and I have more adopted and play siblings than I actually have, siblings that I'm connected to by DNA, right? So we have a large family, which means you bring a lot of personalities to the table. You bring a lot of opinions to the table. And one of the things that I talk about in these outreach events is learning how to have family communication, right? And learning how to have it so that it becomes about delivering the best care, for your loved one. Finding ways to be selfless, right? Let go of ego and pride so you can all contribute towards making, because listen, caregiving is hard.
Woo!
And then when you talk about dementia, any type of dementia where someone's not only losing their memory, but their ability literally to think. Changes are occurring within their brain. And so you can't depend on them anymore really to run their own lives in some way. So how do you as a family, whatever your family looks like, how do you figure it out to make it happen? And there's no magic bullet for it. It takes a lot of saying, I'm sorry. It takes a lot of shutting up. It takes a lot of prayer, but you got to bind together in love. And that's over time what, our family, has learned to do. But you got to also let other families know that, listen, this is, we disagreed, right? And we've had some intense, I won't call it arguments, Doc. I'll say intense discussions. That's what we'll call it. Yeah, that sounds better. Intense discussions. But these are things that most families are going through. But you got to know in the end, it's working out for that one you.
And what I found is the ability to share information. Mm-hmm. And to realize that something is going on with your loved one. I think in my case, I kind of shut my eyes and thought, well, he's going to be okay. It's all right until that day that he was found outside, just laying down and didn't quite know where he was. And thank God someone from my hometown saw him and called me on Facebook audio. I didn't even know you can call people on audio, and said, hey, I think I have your dad with me. Something's going on. And I think that's a big thing as a family is when some starts, you see the changes. So with your mom, Dr. Caldwell, were there obvious changes or were they just little bitty, like she couldn't remember something or that kind of thing?
Well, it actually was an event. And I think my brother-in-law talks about it in the film. And my mother loved to read. She loved to be active, loved to go to bookstores. And although my parents were both born in Alton, just across the river, as was I. We grew up in small town central Illinois, right? And so my mother used to love driving from Jacksonville to Springfield. And one time she had to stop because she always said she wasn't lost. She said she could not remember how to get back home, right? And so my mother had this big eccentric personality. So now looking back, there's some things that we wondered that maybe she was showcasing earlier than even she got a diagnosis. But as you mentioned, you got to pay attention and you can't put your head in the sand when you're starting to see these behaviors that are interrupting kind of the normal flow of life. It's not the normal flow of life to be 58, 59 years old and can't remember how to get back home in your car, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to pay attention to these signs. You have to know the signs, pay attention to them, and then be ready to take action. And what you may describe it as being vulnerable, but it's not being vulnerable. It's because I love you, I'm going to say something to our healthcare provider.
Well, I like the fact that there are resources on your website as well as community forums that are happening all over in different states. Because, we have family in different areas and we want our families to realize that community is supporting. And there's an event that's coming up this month, correct?
Yes, and let me say this, and then Doc, you can jump in because the film is streaming nationwide on the PBS platform. But I really love when we have a chance to do what we're going to do on October 5th, which is be in the room together. And I can't thank enough Dr. Griffin and Dottie and their organizations for jumping in and being a part, because one of the things, again, we want to do is not only bring information, but resources to bear, right? So you need to know about, the health centers, right? And all these services that are going to help with our care. Dottie mentioned her day job. We need to know that there's research studies we can participate in. We need to know there's testing that can occur. So please understand, we have one simple tool in this, but it's the folks like Dr. Griffin, it's the folks like Dottie and all our wonderful partners who are bringing this, what I call a force of information and resources to bear. Because what I've understood, and it does impact our communities in a particular way, it's not the resources aren't there. Oftentimes they're not gathered in a way where they're accessible for us. So I appreciate what they're doing because you can leave there a lot smarter than you came.
And I just want to say one more thing too. For Dr. Caldwell to put his family in the center of this conversation, right? Because there's a stigma associated with Black families. We like keeping everything private. We don't share. So their vulnerability and their openness to be able to come into this space and share their mother's story, who is a game changer. She was a phenomenal woman, and playing this forward is built into the genetics of all of her children, those that are both blood and those that are attached through relationships and adoption. So, I mean, this is a tribute not only to her, but to the legacy that she stood for. So I hands down, Dr. Caldwell, your family, sir, you're doing amazing things. And to find these types of associations with the Links Incorporated and Betty Jean Kerr People's Health Center, and we hope that we want to collaborate with anybody and everybody. Dr. Caldwell, I do want you to tell them about what to expect on the 5th, though. You have to tell them about that.
So normally and listen, I think we have invitations to every state but 13, right? So so we've used the facility at 2401 Cinema before. That's on 6755 page. Right, we'll be there on October 5th. But for Dr. Griffin and the Links and the People's Health Centers, one theater wasn't enough. So they've taken over the whole building. You hear me, y'all? You said taking over the whole building. They're going to show the film simultaneously in all 3 auditoriums. We got heavy hitters that are going to be on the panelists, that are going to be there with information resource tables. And because it is the 1-year anniversary, they've been kind enough that you're going to go across the street afterwards, right? And talk about it some more with the reception. Now, I would invite you, Lady Yo and Divine T, but it's sold out with a long waiting list of capacity. So kudos to all these folks. And it shows how beautiful St. Louis is in terms of coming out and supporting. So y'all don't have to catch us on the next one. But no, they are doing it big for folks are flying in from out of town. So it's going to be amazing. And it shows our strength. It shows our beauty. Can I say this, please? For far too long, we've looked other places for answers. And it's amazing to see that God is using us on this one. You understand what I'm saying? And so we have to, just like you own your now, we got to own this position that we have in this space because it's going to help others.
I love that. I love that. And I like the fact that I'm always talking about community engagement and how important it is for us to come together as a community. But I also like that in the documentary, you also share that intergenerational piece when you talk about her grandchildren and her nephew, and that she was the mother to the community. And so for the community to come out and support, hey, this means that we hear you, we see you, and we need more of this. So we're just really thankful for all that you guys are, all that we're all doing together. We always say we all we got, and we really are. We really are all we got.
And Tracy, what else do I say? We are going to be all right.
We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. Yes.
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
The thing that resonates with me the most, one of the things about this film that resonates so well with me, is that statistics are important, but stories are what really moves us to action. And in this film, I guarantee that there will be a moment that you will see yourself or someone that you know And so during the film, you will laugh, you will cry,
That
and you will walk away with so many resources and just a theater full of support because, like you said, we're all we got, and we are all here to support families along this journey.
That's
Amen.
it. That's it. Well, we know that we have the resources on the website. Will you all please give them the website again, Dr. Caldwell?
So mamajoeproject.com /anniversary. And that's where the registration link is for the October 5th event. Again, we got tons of great partners, but it's the folks that you see on this call who said, hey, listen, we got this. We want to lead with this. And they have been leading with that. Again, Mama Joe, that's MAMAJOE project.com /anniversary.
Got it. And then there are other community resources that are on their website, other community forums as well. And now I know you said it's sold out. Can we come across the street when it's over? Because you know folks be outside. You know we be outside.
We listen. You can come in as long as you have that ticket that's in your hand.
There you go. There you go. Look here, we know some people, Tracy. We might be able to.
You better tell the folks, because you know they be like, well, look now. Well, we want to make sure that we continue to get the information out. And I love that the forums are happening in different states. You guys got to go on the website and check it out. We got to ask everyone, what is your wellness word? You know, we're all about wellness. So we will start with, I was about to say Dottie, but no, Mrs. McDowell, what is your wellness word for today?
My wellness word for today is breathe.
Absolutely. Breathe. Talk to us.
When things feel overwhelming, when there feels like there's just too much going on, just simply pause, take a breath. Take a quick pause, count to 5, revisit it, and breathe.
That's right.
And breathe. That's it. That's
Thank you.
it. That's it. Come on with it.
Oh, well, fearless.
Yes.
Right. So to me, I'm thinking that you just have to trust that your purpose is greater than your doubt. Trust your purpose is greater than your doubt.
I
And
like
then choose to move forward in spite of the fear.
I like that. I like that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Man, why'd I have to go last? Well, let me come off the tail end of Doc, because this was the word that was circulating, and it's the word purpose, right? And I've gone through a lot in these past 2 or 3 years, right, with family, even with this project. But one thing I'm fully confident of is that God has placed me in purpose, on purpose, right?
Woo!
So we've seen the effect, and that families get to start higher. Again, I just got off the road from Oregon, and we're ahead of schedule. And every city we go to, which is amazing, people ask us immediately to come back. So it shows the need, and it shows that together, this thing is working. So I can purpose.
Yes.
We like that. We like that. Now we do have a question on the Facebook side, on the YouTube side, and it was Cynthia. She wanted to know, could someone explain the difference between Alzheimer's and dementia?
I could take that. So dementia is an umbrella term, and there are so many types of dementia. Alzheimer's happens to be the most common form of dementia. And then there could be mixed dementia. So there could be Alzheimer's with vascular or Lewy body, frontal temporal, but Alzheimer's is the most common and what we will focus on in the film.
Got it.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
we thank you all for saying yes to us. And anytime you have other resources and things coming out, come on sooner so we can help with getting them tickets and everything registered. You've talked about her being an avid reader and lover of books. We have poet imagery coming up next. So everybody just stay connected. Thank you all for everything that you do in our community. And, you know, we're all about wellness. And as a therapist, I know that what goes on in the house stays in the house, but we need to bring it out into the streets, into the community center. All right. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. God bless you all.
Thank you. Man, Lady O, this is what community is all about. I'm excited that we're able to make sure that people stay connected. So we got something to do October the 5th. I mean, it's just right around the corner. But this weekend, we have poet imagery, the frequency of all things when it comes to taking a look in the mirror and reflecting about who you are and what you represent. And we got to bring her up. So everybody, shout out to poet imagery. Ask her a little bit about that frequency.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Our pleasure, our pleasure. You know what, the frequency just gets you just moving, honey. Just that word. Before we get started, what are you sipping on? What's in your cup?
So I have Gold Peak tea. I'm normally sipping on water, but today I wanted a little bit of flavor. So it's slightly
a little
sweet.
bit of flavor in your life.
Just a little bit.
A little bit of flavor. A little bit of flavor. You know, we want to start with imagery. Talk to us about, what does imagery mean?
So people are confused, right? My government name is Montrese. My author name is Montrese. That's a whole nother story. But my poet name, given to me actually by Christy Cotton, Poet Lightning, is Imagery. Like imagery, but the word imagery because I paint pictures with words. I bring clarity with words. So that's my poet name, Imagery. And so Yolanda, you had mentioned the frequency. So everything has frequency and vibration, but at the frequency of 963, that is considered the ultimate healing frequency. That's the divine awakening and connection. And that's the basis of which I write. I try to write from really a stasis of truth and clarity for me. And what I found is that it resonates with other people as well.
So talk to us about, when did you find out you had this gift? Because it's a gift. Everyone can't do it. When did you say, aha, I have the gift?
So I think this is true really for all gifts, is that you don't really know that it's a gift for you. Okay. It's usually that thing that comes really easy and you take for granted and you kind of doubt it. So I'll answer in two parts. I've always written ever since I was able to hold a pencil. But the first time it was called out for me was in the 4th grade by my teacher, Miss Etta King. As far as it being a gift, that's been super hard to embrace. I remember being on Sunday Morning Live, and I think it was Jade Harrell who referred to me as an author, and I freaked on the inside because I'm thinking, I'm just a mom that wrote a book. And she said, well, ain't that the definition of an author? And I was like, yeah, it is. So that was the first time I actually embraced it. But I feel like, well, I only wrote one book and, you know, I haven't done this. And I was measuring myself by these ridiculous standards and definitions. And finally, when I decided, you know what, I am creative. I am an author. I have written multiple things, and I've been a columnist of a newspaper and created a newspaper at my junior high. So yeah, I write multiple things. I finally just there were different layers of stepping into it. There's writing, then there's writing with purpose. And just recently with this collection of Mirror Mirror, it was writing without edit and without shame. That doesn't mean I didn't edit the book. It means I didn't edit myself as I was telling my truth in it. It's a full emotional arc, and it's just, I didn't plan to sit down and even write it. It started with it was a Facebook post from a friend. And I thought, this is dope, because what he posted was short. It was on April 20th. It was Easter. Wow. And it was like biblical flips, and there was lots of wordplay, and it was layered and it was gritty. And I'm like, can I write something like that? So I sat down and I wrote a piece. It's in the new book called Resurrection. And that particular piece deals with how people handle legal and illegal and right and wrong in a survival situation, because those things aren't always synonymous with each other. So it's about a man faced with just everyday survival and how he deals with that. And it's super gritty. And I was like, whoa, I shocked myself with that one. And then after it, it just kept coming, one poem after another. And suddenly I saw poetry everywhere. Everywhere I looked, it's like, that's a poem too. People got sick of me, I'm sure.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
They didn't.
Cynthia says, Alex Haley stated, you are a poet when you say you are. There's a difference between writing in a book and then being able to do that spoken word piece. We talked about it earlier when Mrs. McDowell talked about being a storyteller. You have a very unique gift. Your poems are not just in a book. You're also going to do spoken word, or you have done spoken word.
I have. So it's a difference between reading a book and going to a movie, right? So you read the book and you have a particular voice in your head or a character, but when it's performed, it adds so much layer and dynamic to it. And there's rawness, and there are the pauses and the syntax and the rhythm and all of that. It brings it to life for people. So I think poetry is to words what staging a house is to real estate, right? Everybody can't see the vision. Like, I see the house, I see it's empty, but what's it like when you actually put stuff in here? Oh, I see the colors, it's different. So spoken word does that for the written word in poetry.
Oh, this is delicious. Okay, speaking of delicious, you have an event coming up.
I do. I'm trying to be so cool about it, but I'm so excited. So Saturday is my book launch, and it's at Sweet Art at 3701 Lindell. And I just found out yesterday, Chef Keese. Oh my gosh, Rain Keese is so phenomenal. She definitely has a creative gift when it comes to food. Yes. But she told me yesterday that she is curating a special menu for the book launch. And I was just so honored. I'm like, what? Girl, what? Because I thought, is there more work? And she's like, no, this is fun for me. And I had to think about it. You know, writing is that thing for me. Cooking is that thing for her. And let me tell you, her food, I've not tasted a dish at Sweet Art that was bad. You almost forget that stuff is good for you.
Right.
Ever.
And her space is just absolutely beautiful. It's neat. And it just shows how much she cares for what she's presenting to the world, what she's giving. It's a gift. You're truly right.
It truly
is a gift.
It is. So your event is happening at Sweet Art, and everybody will receive what? What do they receive if they walk through the door?
So it's at 5:00 Saturday, September 27th. You will receive, it's $20 at the door. We take credit card or Cash App. You will get the performance, which I thought it was a 30-minute performance, you guys, but really is more like 45 minutes. But I swear it's worth it. So it's a 45-minute one-woman show that has 3 different acts. Acts 1, 2, and 3. Act 1 is Reflections of Us, which is about identity and community. Act 2 is Cracks in the Mirror, which is love, loss, and betrayal. And then the final act is Buffing the Mirror, which is about homecoming to yourself. And in between the acts, you get to get your delicious food and your snacks. So you can get that ahead of time. So that's one thing. There's multiple things you get when you walk through the door. Then you get a copy of my book, Mirror, Mirror. And in the book, it's not just poems. So after every poem, there are questions for you to reflect and introspect and even write about it. You'll also have a mirror inside the book so that you can really look into the mirror, write into the mirror, and take the steps to become what the mirror already knew you to be. So there's that. And then afterward, there's Meet the Author, and then a Q&A session where people can ask, whatever in regards to the book.
There you go.
Yes. And, in full disclosure, you all, I love poet imagery. She is a dear friend of mine, and to see her start from the beginning to completion. And this mirror is a true reflection of all of her. And so I'm very excited about it. And of course, you all, the food is great. She's at that new location on Lindo, correct?
Correct.
Yes. And so,
Beautiful.
And there's no fee for parking. Like, it's metered, but at that time, by 5 o'clock, they're not charging.
yes,
Awesome.
yes. Cynthia asks, do you memorize your work? She says she doesn't always memorize hers.
Okay, Cynthia. So back in the day when I was a whole lot younger, I memorized everything. But now that I'm years old, it's a little. So yes and no. Okay, so there are some poems of the book I have memorized, but it's a 45-minute show. So I have not memorized some 20-odd poems. However, you won't know that because I have hacks and things for that, and I'll still make it dynamic, and I'm dramatic anyway by nature. But it will be a great performance. But no, I have not yet. My preference is to definitely memorize the work because you bring more to it when you're not worried about the next word. But the difference this time for me is I'm not worried about any of it because it literally came from a very honest, raw place. And I used to be, as Erykah Badu would say, one of those artists that's sensitive about their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not anymore because what I realize is that my stuff more than likely looks a lot like your stuff. And if we all got real honest about that thing and talked about it, then there's nothing to be sensitive about. You get what I'm saying? And we can cultivate a different type of communal healing with that.
That's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm excited. I am very excited.
And y'all got to come because she's going to have a few exclusives too, Lady O. And y'all know Lady O loves exclusives. So y'all going to have to come in for the tea.
Two exclusives.
Yes.
All right now.
Well, you know, we got to ask you what your wellness word is. You all got to get look, you don't have to get your tickets. You just got to show up.
They know tickets. I didn't want to deal with no tickets and no back office stuff. You come, you pay, you get a book. You said, so you get to follow along because you have a program in a book and I'll ask you. So it's not one of those one-way spoken word where you come and you just listen. No, we're getting in cozy.
You'll be asked. We got a seat at the table.
Yes.
Love it.
Tell us, what is your wellness word for the week?
My wellness word for the year has been clarity. And it still is clarity because when things are clear, it bridges the gap between truth and purpose. And that from clarity, you can see things, confront things, heal things, or celebrate things. So that's my word for 2025.
We love that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. We're looking forward to this weekend. You know, I don't even need a ticket. So I'm going to be in the house. I'm going to make sure I get there with all the things. So thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you so much, you and Yolanda, for having me.
See you this weekend.
See you this weekend. Lady O, we got something going on. It's not this weekend. It's actually tomorrow. What do we have going on?
Tracy and I have the honor at being at Hearth and Soul in Ladue. You can come out and meet us. It's from 4 to 6. We will be discussing all things the I Define Me movement. If you've ever wanted to know all about our nonprofit side, what we're doing in the community, what we're doing in the schools, this is your opportunity. Hey, y'all, there will be hors d'oeuvres and cocktails, complimentary hors d'oeuvres and cocktails. So grab a girlfriend, grab anyone, a friend, and come on out and meet Tracy and I and hear more about what we are thankful to be able to bring to the world, because it's just not St. Louis. You know, Tracy speaks all over the world. So come on out and support us at Hearth and Soul.
That's right, y'all. And Hearth and Soul is in Clayton, and they have 2 different locations. There's one also in Tallahassee, but this one is 9640 Clayton Road. Look, y'all, cocktails, light bites, as well as finding out and supporting our nonprofit. Hey, we winning, right? We're winning
all the way.
you all better start dropping your wellness words in the chat before we wrap up. Everybody, try to drop one word in the chat right now. Lady O, what is your wellness word for the week?
Empathy. And empathy is my word because we just need to take time before we act to say, I can understand how that person may feel. You may not feel that way, but the opportunity to take a moment to say, I can understand. I want to understand. I want to give understanding to how a person is feeling is so important, especially in these days and times. So my word is empathy.
I love that. I love that. Everyone else, you all can definitely drop your wellness word in the chat. It's important that we acknowledge everyone that's here. And we hope that you all continue to share. Next week, of course, is our week where we do our PBS once a month show. So we will be airing the PBS episode next week. But as we walk into the Joy Cipher, you all know what it looks like for us to continue to make sure that everyone is included in all things. So it's important that as a community that we have empathy for each other, because we don't know what everybody else is going through or growing through. And sometimes we have to take a step back, to take a deep breath and just breathe and recenter ourselves and understand that this is a faith walk that we're all going through. And if you take that faith walk, you will be fearless and you will see the value of what it looks like for us to walk in purpose, on purpose. But you also have to choose to do this. And when you choose to do this, you will get the clarity that you need to create the environment that we all need to be able to sometimes reset and understand that we will be okay because we have the support of each other, because this is what it looks like when we come together as helpers and know that if we all come together, then we will get the clarity that we need and we all will be winning. And we will continue to win in this place that enhances our knowledge and allows us to know that we are all about community, wellness, opportunity, knowledge, and empowerment.
Yes.
That's what we do here on the Own Your Now show. Lady O, today, I know this was a difficult one for you. It's very close to home. I'm glad that even though you're from California, we also have resources here for you and your dad and your family.
Yes.
And this is what it's about. So we are not just able to fill up our cups and take care of others, but we're also able to be fed here as well. So
Absolutely.
yes,
absolutely. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for the knowledge of truly understanding dementia and Alzheimer's, and the things that come along with it for my dad and for my family and myself. So everyone, use these resources, reach out. You're not alone, and don't feel as though if you're not a doctor, because I'm not a doctor, that you can't get information that can help you. So I'm thankful. But you know what I'm going to say right now? I wish you peace, love, and positivity.
and remember, tomorrow isn't promised. So own your
now.
now.
See.
I am.